What are your thoughts on those like foreclosure notices that you see where they're doing you can go and you can make an offer on houses that are foreclosed. Also, can you get a good deal there, or is that
Sure
also a
can.
bunch of bullshit?
No, it's not bullshit. That's actually a strategy. There's like 30 major strategies of how to make money in real estate.
Uh,
Some focus on cash flow, some focus on, buying properties under value. There's a lot of different strategies that you can play in the game. Foreclosures hasn't been a very big deal for the last several years, but now they're starting to creep up because these higher mortgages and people buying more than they can afford. We're starting to
okay.
see more and more homes go back to the banks. And banks are not in the business of holding real estate themselves. They love to lend you money on real estate. They don't want to own real estate because it hurts their fractional lending ratio. You see,
Hmm.
when I open up a new bank account at Chase and I put $1,000 in the
Mhm.
bank is allowed to keep 100 physical dollars and then lend 900 fake dollars to people in the form of other loans. So they're basically inventing money at that ratio and then making money on that. But when they have real estate on the books, it hurts that ratio. And then all of a sudden they can't lend nearly as much. So they hate owning real estate. Hence, they'll sell it for a deep discount. So foreclosures can be a place where you get really, really good deals.
Okay. All right. Now let's say you're a homeowner. How do you maximize the value of your property, and what are the most effective upgrades for improvements before selling or renting? Like, should people redo that carpet? Should they redo the kitchen, the bathroom, or should they leave it and let the people deal with it?
There's actually a mathematical analysis that you need to calculate based on whether you're in a buyer's market or a seller's market. So, for example, we are missing a lot of inventory in the country right now, which means that you can get away with selling a house with ragtag carpet and it hasn't been repainted. But because there's not enough homes and there's enough eager beavers, especially watch this, rates are coming down. Last week, the market's tanked, right? We saw the NASDAQ drop 1,000 points. We saw $2 trillion evaporated out of the market. And right now we're seeing the rates come down. Zillow is now calling for 5.9. We're out of the 8 range. And
Yeah.
with 3 more potential rate cuts, Rachel, before the end of the year, if those rates drop below 5.25%, you're going to see the prices of real estate skyrocket again. So in that kind of market, you don't have to fix anything up. In a market where you have a surplus of inventory, you kind of need for your area to have the nicest, most fixed up house. Now, you should, by the way, never fix up your house more than what the neighbors are. So, for example, if granite is standard in your neighborhoods, then you should do granite. If Formica is standard, then you should do Formica. You shouldn't actually, if you put in nicer things than all the other houses, you won't actually get that money out. All you'll do is sell your home faster because you're only affecting the perceived value of the real estate.
Right. But do you think that like throwing wallpaper on the wall and doing like minimal things can also really change the outcome of what you're going to get? Or
No,
you feel like you have to invest in some of the good?
it depends. It depends on what's actually selling in the market. Everything is based
Got
on
it.
comps. So if the
Okay.
last 5 homes weren't fixed up, you shouldn't fix up your home. Now you can run the math and be like, "Oh, Kris, what if I put in $10,000 of upgrades?" No, no, let's go crazy. I'm going to put in granite. We're going to do a $50,000 kitchen remodel. I'm going to also put in a gold toilet on the throne room, and I'm going to put 100 grand in. I'm like, cool. Your house will sell so fast, but it won't sell for more money because a gold toilet, even though it in and of itself is valuable, doesn't actually increase the value of the price per square foot. So there's a lot of ridiculous things that people will do that are above and beyond what the market in their area is doing.
Right. Okay, I get that. Is there a difference between what you do in upgrades on the interior versus doing in your landscaping? Like, does the landscaping even matter? Like for me, I live in Florida. I have
Yep.
almost 2 acres.
Yeah.
I'm not planning on selling my place, but like I just put in a pickleball court, and in my
Oh,
mind, when I spent the money, I was like, well, for resale value, this will
yeah.
really help me. But who the hell knows? And it was a lot of money.
Yeah. So the reality is, real estate is valued. The house is valued separate than the property. And so
Okay.
when someone says, I put $200,000 into my landscaping, you won't get $200,000 out. Landscaping is the biggest money pit where you generally don't get money out. But if you add
Right.
amenities like a pickleball court, you can make your house sell quicker. You can make it sell faster, and you're going to beat out the competition. Are you going to get all that money out? It depends on the market and it depends on a number of factors, but often no. In a higher price range, like, when you get into the 7-figure status, those things can make a difference. But the closer you get to the median and below, no, you generally don't.
Got it. Okay. Another question from a listener. How should first-time home buyers approach the current market? What are the common mistakes to avoid?
Well, the number one mistake is they're waiting. They
Hmm.
actually think that waiting for rates to come down is a smart move. Now, they might be doing that so that real estate matches their budget, but I can mathematically show you that waiting 2 years for rates to come down versus what will happen over the next 2 years with the appreciation of the house, you're actually going to lose money on the value upside of the house by waiting for rates to come down to manage your budget. Now, everyone should manage their budget anyway, but waiting in real estate always costs people money. And right now, for the last 2 years, the market has been on hold. I, as an investor, have not. I've been buying as much as I possibly can, and I'm being rewarded for it, and I'm making money hand over fist. But unfortunately, most people are susceptible to listening to the media and the news, and they believe weird things like high interest rates are bad. In my world, the difference between an 8% interest rate and a 5% interest rate has this much of an impact on the overall ROI. You almost don't even feel it.
But we all keep hearing like, oh, we're going to be in a recession. Keep your money tight because you don't know what's going to happen. What would you say to people that think that?
We are in a recession. We've been in a recession, and Biden economics hasn't wanted to admit that we're in a recession. We've been in a recession for the last 2.5 years. Right now, they've been changing the definition so that no one has to really own it, but business owners are feeling it. We right now have, for this quarter where we're at in the economy, we have more companies going bankrupt nationwide than we had during the pandemic when people weren't allowed to even open a business. So we are in a recession. And when you are in a recession, you do need to hold on to your money, and you do need to be smart, and you do need to be careful. You need to have money for a rainy day.
How do you think the current state of politics is going to affect everything this November?
I think it depends very much who we elect. I think if we elect a Democrat, it's going to be bad for business. I think if you elect a Republican, it's going to be good for business. And right now, business sector is what's hurting it. 50% of our country's GDP comes on the backbone of small business owners. And what we really need, I feel, is a Republican president. I feel like that's going to help our economy a whole lot more than having Kamala Harris in the White House.
Interesting. Okay.
But by the way, I get to win either way, because if Kamala's elected, it's great for real estate. Because Democrats make financial decisions that hurt the economy, and real estate's a hard asset, so it goes up in value. So when they print money we don't have, real estate goes up in value. When they make decisions that increase inflation, real estate goes up in value. So it's kind of like elect a Democrat if you want real estate values to go up, and elect a Republican president if you want businesses to thrive better.
Right. Okay. You have something called you have a Clever Summit 2024 coming up in September here in Florida. Can you tell people about that and why they?
I'm one of the speakers. I'm one of 20 different speakers that are joining forces with Cody Sperber for Clever Summit 2024. It's happening in Hollywood, Florida, right next to Miami, and it's happening September 13th, 14th, and 15th. And it's a big deal because it's the largest, think of it like Real Estate Comic-Con. It's the largest real estate event of the entire year. Thousands of investors come out looking for market updates, understanding the economy, and then meeting people that they can do deals with. Events like that are where people who are nobodies become multimillionaires in very short periods of time. And so this is
how? Explain.
Because deal making usually requires three different components. Someone needs money, someone needs a deal, and someone needs to do the deal.
Right.
Well, when you come to an event like this, there's the room is filled with people with money, people with deals, and people that are willing to put in the sweat equity. So what ends up happening is a lot of organic partnerships end up forming up and coming together. So while everyone's learning about real estate, learning about this economy and the strategies that are working best, they then find the people that they're doing their next deals with.